64,000 is the median number of words per book. Average person reads about 200 words per minute. Simple math will tell us that is one book in 320 minutes. To accomplish this in 7 days, numbers say you would have to read for 45 minutes a day. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification button, like, comment, and share. Enjoy. Hello, and happy day. How does slowing down sound to you today? Would you like to reduce the noise for just a bit? Are you ready to make a choice and decide to listen? My name is Igor S.F. Walker. I am here to remind people to slow down, to reduce the noise, to walk their lives into a natural flow. Welcome back to the Book of the Week series. Every week, as I read another amazing title, I share it with the world. Today we look at The Ultimate Secret, the greatest insight of our generation, by Dr. Stephen Cangiano. In this video, we discover there is a new story emerging on our planet. It is revealing a higher truth that is transforming our lives. We look at the operating laws of life. These laws are not new, but must be upgraded for a new and expanding world. They are the key to permanent and predictable success. You have a vital role in the story. Stick around. Till the end, I will share with you some tools I haven't used that will help you tremendously in this game of life. Discover a way to find out what actually motivates you, what innate human need is driving all of your decisions and your behavior. I will share some tools to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management. We honor those who came before us, love those that are with us, and pave the way to a clearer and brighter path for those to come after us. This is our destiny. Science has exploded with amazing new insights that have dramatically upgraded our understanding of reality. History tells us the complex stories that humanity wraps around these evolving truths. The great struggle of humankind is the painful process of updating these stories to fit new and undeniable truths. The truth will set you free, but at a price. The price is that we must collectively give up the old stories that no longer serve us. The past stories that held the fabric of our society together are not just frying at the edges, they're disintegrating into tattered, useless rags. The old world order is rapidly becoming irrelevant at best and is more commonly destructive. The law of attraction, one of the most popular philosophies at the time and for the last 25 years, says that you attract and become what you think about, whether you desire it or not. Now, for me, the law of attraction had become a false promise, a neat package of great-sounding hyperbole that sold a lot of books and filled a lot of seminars. It appeared to treat the universe like an ATM, where you could withdraw whatever you wanted without making a deposit. But I soon learned that the problem was not with the law of attraction. The problem was that it is an incomplete story. I also needed to know how to make the law of attraction work for everyone in a predictable way. The law of accelerating expansion. It is the governing law of life, and it has been since the foundation of the universe. It is a truth so profound, yet so elusive, that not one of the greatest minds in history has previously discussed it. There is a hierarchy to the laws of life. Governing laws make the precedence over the operating laws. The law of accelerating expansion is a governing law, while the law of attraction is a subservient physical operating law. There are 7 of these physical operating laws. There are also 7 intellectual operating laws that are lesser known, yet just as important. A governing law is a deeper, more accurate description of reality. It controls and directs the operating laws. When you are aware of and in compliance with a governing law, the operating laws will always work in your favor, including the law of attraction. These governing laws of your life is the law of accelerating expansion. It is your new guiding principle, the filter by which you direct the operating laws of life, as well as every thought, feeling, and action. Keep in mind that, like many times in history, old beliefs have surrendered to a new truth, and a complete transformation in our beliefs is happening again. As scientific breakthroughs offer us a greater understanding of the external world, we will do the same for our internal world, our world of thoughts, feelings, and actions. Your internal and external worlds are not separate. If something is true externally, it must also be true internally. Therefore, accelerating expansion is who you are. It is the organizing principle of our universe and your life. Expansion operates in your life as predictably as gravity. You are not separate from the universe. You cannot defy the laws of nature. You cannot contract while the entire universe is expanding. The laws of the universe operate with or without your understanding or consent. Accelerating expansion is the cosmic force that emanates your existence. It is the source of all creation. It is what religions call God, philosophers call love, and scientists call life. It is the foundation of evolution, knowledge, wisdom, and truth. When you're out of harmony with the law of accelerated expansion, you're immediately notified. Negative emotions, stress, and conflict are your signals. Pay immediate attention to this, or soon you will attract what you do not want. The law of accelerating expansion is always the solution. Misapplication of the law will always lead to conflict in any endeavor. Our world is filled with personal, interpersonal, intergenerational, political, economic, governmental, institutional, religious, societal, and environmental conflicts. The conflict is an epidemic, the great unnecessary tragedy of our time. The law of accelerating expansion is the solution. And we need for it to become common knowledge now. Accelerating expansion is becoming more obvious in our daily lives. And digitalization, automation, globalization, robotics, and artificial intelligence are just a few examples. We can access all the world's information in the palm of our hand and disseminate new ideas internationally with the touch of a button. Our lives continue to improve and expand at a dizzying pace. Now, for the people who are unaware of the law of accelerating expansion, that change creates extraordinary levels of stress. And those who resist, well, they will feel left behind. We see this happening to large parts of our own society, as well as around the world. Many feel disenfranchised and polarized. They cling to a past that no longer exists and ideas that no longer work. You are not separate from creation. You cannot defy the laws of nature. Accelerated expansion is as much part of who you are as gravity is. Therefore, like the foundations of the universe, your true nature is perfection. And like all of perfection, like all of creation, you want more. You want to experience your perfection, and you can do this because you understand opposites. For you to experience joy, you must experience suffering. For you to experience forgiveness, you must know betrayal. For you to experience oneness, you must understand separation. There's no up without down, no before without after, no expansion without contraction. Expansion is your reality. Contraction is your tool to experience it. Perfection is your true nature. Imperfection is your path to experience it. Oneness is your true identity. Separation is your path to experiencing it. Never suppress your desire for more. It is who you truly are. It is the universe expanding through you. And this knowledge removes all suffering. The lie is that you need a savior. Now, this is not true. You do not need a savior, and you never have. No one will save you because you're not lost. All you have to do is remember who you are. You are here to experience a fuller and greater expression of more life for life itself. Yet still we suffer. Still we don't believe. When facing these facts, we turn away. Why do so many good, intelligent, hard-working people not attract what they really want? Even more puzzling is why they do attract what they do not want. Where did we collectively go astray? And more importantly, how do we fix it? How many times have you asked yourself, why is my life so difficult? Or, why are relationships so hard, so much work? Or perhaps when things are going well, you think, this is too good to be true. When will this end? Now, there's nothing wrong with you, and it never has been. You have come by these questions honestly. 2,600 years of cultural conditioning drove them into your mind so deeply that they have become automatic. We consciously consider them a natural part of life. Please know that they are not natural. They are a byproduct of the prevailing cultural myth. Such limiting questions and beliefs started when you were a child. Fallacy number 1, arbitrary rules. The first fallacy is that God, and if you do not like the word God, substitute with the word life or universe, makes arbitrary rules such as do not eat the apple. We must follow these rules even when common sense tells us not to. Life is testing the sinful nature assigned to us. It is absurd that there is some deity or a force of nature that would tempt us to do something that it didn't want us to do and then punish us for eternity for doing it. How many arbitrary social, religious, and relationship rules do we live with to this day? Now, do they violate the law of attraction? Are they consistent with or counter to the law of accelerating expansion? Fallacy number 2, separation philosophy. The second fallacy is that because Adam and Eve ate the apple, humanity was cast from the garden and separated from God for eternity. They were thrown from the realm of absolute heaven to languish in the realm of the relative earth. This separation philosophy has caused humanity to perpetuate horrific acts of violence. It has devastated our relationships with each other and with our planet. It has caused us to look at opposites as a curse instead of a blessing. We would never treat each other or the planet the way we do unless we thought that we were separate from it and each other. We still kill each other to settle disputes. This illusion of separation has given us permission to commit heinous acts of violence and destruction to each other and to our environment. Fallacy number 3. What's wrong? The third fallacy is that our souls have been permanently darkened by the original sin, that we are born sinful and weak, and we must struggle for the rest of our lives with our worldly nature. Please believe that there is no deity that would make arbitrary rules. You're not separate from each other, from God, from life, or anything that you truly desire. But you first must see through the illusion. Embrace the role of opposites and understand how the prevailing cultural myth controls your thinking. What's wrong questions are at the center of why the law of attraction works in unintended ways. Negative questions create a negative reality. And these questions show up in our lives in many ways. Why is my life such a struggle? Why can't I meet the right person? Why are relationships so difficult? Why can't I meet someone I can trust? Why am I so fat? Will I ever have enough money? What's wrong questions, and their ugly cousins, are hardwired into our brains. They are automatic. You must learn to ask yourself new questions. Questions that will empower you to create what you want and expand your life. With new insights into these questions and the results they create, you will root out every what's wrong question. You will stop focusing on the problem and be in harmony with the solution. You will be what you desire, not what you fear. Arbitrary rules, separation philosophy, and what's wrong questions are the devastating effects of the prevailing cultural myth. But you are no longer its victim. Krishnamurti identified the greatest source of human suffering as psychological time. Suffering comes from living in your psychological past or your psychological future. Psychological time shows up in our day-to-day lives as the belief in someday. Most people alter the course of their lives in a split second based on this superstition. This superstition is an irrational belief arising from ignorance and fear, and this superstition works in the same way. Any goal rooted in unhappiness or incompleteness will never bring you happiness or contentment. You cannot plant an unhappy seed and then expect a happy flower to grow. It is not how the universe works. What you sow is what you reap. Wanting happiness in the future means that you are unhappy now. You can never have what you want psychologically, spiritually seeking. You might be thinking, wait a moment, what do you mean I cannot have what I want? If I want a hamburger, I go to the diner and I get one. While this is certainly true in the physical world, in the mental, emotional, and spiritual realms, it does not work that way. Mental traps are easy to fall into when we apply physical law to psychological, spiritual law. Since there is no past or future, emotionally speaking, to be happy in what you are calling your emotional future, you must be happy now. To be complete in the future, you must be complete now. There is no other way. You can only be what you are. Happiness is the journey, not the destination. Happiness is something you see, feel, not something you do. So focus on being happy now. not unrealistic. Concentrate on being content now, not complacent. Be excited now, not falsely optimistic. Love grandly now, and let that be your starting point. Cancel out unhappiness, loneliness, discontentment, or boredom. Love grandly now. And you have arrived at your destination. Be, do, and have is the proper order of creation. The instant the acorn is planted, the oak tree exists in the universe. All the necessary elements, the sun, the water, the nutrients are present now. The space between the parts gives the illusion of time. The acorn never doubts it will become an oak tree. It never becomes stressed or depressed. It does not listen to its fellow seeds that tell her she cannot do it. The acorn never asks what's wrong with the dirt or why isn't there enough fertilizer in here. It just continues to expand. An oak tree can grow to 148 feet, produce 10 million acorns, and live 1,000 years. Now that's expansion. The law of accelerating expansion is always promoting a greater vision and a higher version of you. To achieve the greater version, your thoughts, feelings, and actions must be in harmony with accelerating expansion. Events that force us into the present moment are the most exhilarating or the most frightening when you are faced with overwhelming love or overwhelming fear. Life stands still. You and the moment become one, are one. There is no separation. I would claim that these are the moments when we experience who we truly are. Now, take a minute to reflect. How do you personally experience the present moment? Write it in the comments. As you move towards a new vision and embrace the old limiting thoughts that may come up, knowing that they are useful information, perfect feedback. They're merely the level of your current beliefs, not the level of your potential. In the zone, you will know that there is no condition or circumstance greater than you, and that the true nature of reality is accelerating expansion. On your journey, you are meant to experience fuller and higher expression of more life. For life itself, you are unlimited, eternal, and free. Your likes, thoughts, feelings, and actions. Always remember, you are the pinnacle of creation, and that the law of accelerating expansion is a deeper, more accurate definition of life, love, and God. Now use these truths to transform your life and our world. Participate in a new, inclusive, and expanding story of humanity. They tried to let law of attraction be answer to all the questions. It is not the answer, it is just one law. The law of attraction is but one law. There are many laws working in the world. You're on a journey of expansion, not attraction. Physical law number 1, vibration and attraction. Vibration is not an abstract idea. Louis de Broglie won the Nobel Prize in 1929 for proving that matter, as well as energy, vibrates. At the time, it was well understood that sound and light waves vibrate and propagate at certain frequencies. He proved that matter does the same. Vibration and attraction are at work in every aspect of your life. If you are unhappy with what you are attracting, it means you are not using the law of attraction to your benefit. The most common reason for this is that you are focusing on what you do not want. You must get emotionally involved in what you do want. Physical law number 2, cause and effect. Nothing happens by chance. For every action, there is an equal or opposite reaction. Are we locked into a perpetual chain of cause and effect? Are we products of our environment? Is it possible to create a new chain of causality for your life? There is a raging debate in the fields of philosophy, neuroscience, and religion on the topic of free will. We probably do not have free will in the way that it is commonly understood, because our brains are automatically recreating the programmed images in our mind. We can, however, develop mental autonomy to break into this programming and alter the chain of cause and effect. We must proactively be the cause of our thoughts. Your current thoughts, they are unconsciously creating your present reality, are the automatic result of your programming. Physical law number 3, rhythm. All of life has a rhythm. The tides, the moon, the seasons, and even our bodies, birth, life, death. The flow of life is determined by the law of rhythm. Every generation is better than the previous one, filled with expanding knowledge and an increasing number of innovators. We are living in the time of the greatest change in human history. The ups and downs of life are as inevitable as the ocean tides. The important question is, are you prepared to handle the seasons of your life? Every season has beautiful lessons. Physical law number 4, gestation. Universe of energy information, and each has a well-defined gestation period. Plant a carrot seed. 6 weeks later, you will have a carrot. Human seeds takes 9 months. Elephant's gestational period is 2 years. Physical seeds are on a dedicated path to one unique goal: existence and survival of that species. A tiny acorn harmonizes perfectly with the environment to create a 148-foot tree, which in 1,000 years, which shed up to 10 million acorns. Physical law number 5, relativity. The law of relativity states that for you to understand something, you must relate it to something else. For instance, to recognize something is large, we must compare it to something small. Large, small, long versus short, rich versus poor, etc. Anything that exists in a degree of magnitude is a subject to comparison. Now, this should not be confused with the law of polarity, which describes opposites, like day and night, or up and down. Relativity may be the most commonly violated law in our day-to-day lives. Physical law number 6, polarity. The law of polarity is humanity's greatest gift. It allows you to understand your life. It instructs us that we experience our world through the existence and comprehension of opposites, good and bad, right and wrong, right and left, day and night, etc. Neil Donald Walsh says it best: in the absence of what you are not, what you are is not. Repeat this sentence until the wisdom of it becomes clear. It is an important principle for you to internalize, embody. Physical law number 7, transmutation of energy. The law of transmutation of energy drives the great story of life. It is the mechanism behind what we call progress. The law of transmutation of energy is the first law of thermodynamics and states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. Energy and matter are interchangeable states. Now, what about the laws that are below the physical laws, the ones that are subservient to the operating laws? Intellectual law number 1. Your brain synergizes information. Synergy is driving, accelerating expansion. Your brain synergizes and innovates using the information that surrounds you every second of the day. Synergy will help you harness your brain's resources to achieve your vision and thrive in the age of accelerating expansion. There has never been a time in history when you have been bombarded with more information more quickly. It is essential that you use this information wisely as you move towards a worthy ideal. Intellectual 2, your brain is success-driven and is the perfect creative force in the universe. You will always flawlessly create and recreate the predominant images in your mind. Life is an exact printout of your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Your mind automatically creates your present reality. Entire constellation of your current circumstances is the perfect feedback. You do need to identify the present images in your mind. Intellectual law 3. Your mind mimics perfectly. Your mind can perfectly mimic the traits of others. From the day you were born, you were modeling the people in your environment. When you surround yourself with successful people who are moving in the direction they want to go, it will transform your life. Cautionary tale, of course, is to make sure you do not associate with people who will keep you stuck in your current reality. Many people are trapped in their story. They have developed a constellation of beliefs and concepts to explain their undesirable circumstances. They will try to convince you that their understanding of reality is true. They do not want to face the possibility that their stories may not be, especially if they have been living it for a long time. What is wrong? Questions and negativity bias prevails in their lives. You must not judge these people, but you must avoid them. Intellectual law 4. Your mind craves completeness. Your mind craves completeness. It wants to know the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It constantly monitors for gaps, inconsistencies, and congruency. Your mind does this in an effort to create certainty in an uncertain world. Your mind despises gaps, especially on issues that are important to us. Your mind is consistently filling in the gaps. It is always searching for completeness, so take comfort in 2 things. The first is that your life, especially when you are aware of the insights you are learning here, will always lead you forward. You are on a journey of expansion. The universe is expanding, and so are you. The gaps in your life are temporary. The second is to become comfortable with the wisdom of uncertainty. If you know exactly how every situation in life will turn out, it would be a monotonous, boring existence. The key is to realize that the predominant vision in your mind will always become a physical reality. The excitement of a compelling vision is that you do not know exactly how things will come together. Intellectual law number 5. The brain seeks knowledge and information. Your mind seeks knowledge and information. It is programmed to seek relevant knowledge. Relevant in that context is defined as what is important to you. There's a broad spectrum of knowledge information available to you now more than ever. You must be a constant learner. There are certain topics that are relevant to everyone. Health, relationships, finances are the most common. These areas of your life, especially relationships, are the most rewarding and often the most challenging. Intellectual law number 6. Your mind is truth-seeking. Truth is survival. As humanity evolved, an accurate assessment of current reality was essential to our continued existence. Truth-seeking is instinctual, and it allows for an accurate assessment of danger. We employ these instincts to this day. If a bus is speeding up towards us, we immediately evaluate the truth of the situation and we move. You can observe these natural instincts in your children. As adults, we continue to seek the truth, covet openness, aspire to transparency, and look for congruency in everything and everyone. We want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Intellectual law number 7. Your mind is persistent. Ask and you shall receive. Everything you have asked for or asking for or will ask for is available to you in your zone of expansion. Your mind is persistent and will push through 10 eternities to bring you what you deeply desire, metaphorically speaking. Your mind does not know defeat or compromise, and it does not surrender. You have learned many amazing truths about how your brain works. None of them are worthwhile if it is not persistent. Knowledge and proper application of the 7 intellectual and 7 physical operating laws will transform your life. And there you have it, the ultimate secret, the greatest insight of our generation. Please do help out. It is easy. Simply like this video so more people can enjoy it. Share it too and spread the word. Leave a comment and do share your thoughts. Subscribe to my channel and stay up to date. And the link to this book is in the description below. So you buy it, you read, and you never stop learning, especially learning about yourself and nature. So gift yourself by taking the free human needs test on my website and find out what actually motivates you. What innate human need is driving all of your decisions and all of your behavior. And if you feel you are ready to improve your self-awareness, social awareness, self-management, and relationship management even further, then do check out my Master of Life Awareness program. The links, well, they're in the description below. Thank you. Love and respect.